My dad will tell you without education, you die poor, you'll be hungry. And I think my dad, yeah, I owe that man a lot. So back then he was using, I think I'm gonna use that skill on my kids as well. My dad will tell you if you come first, whatever you want, you have it. So maybe I was just studying because of what I was expecting at the end of the term, not because I really wanted to study.
Well, incentives work. My parents too gave incentives. It's just that I couldn't be bothered. Anything you want to offer. I found academics too stressful. Too stressful. I had ADD, attention deficit disorder. I couldn't sit down and study anything for more than 10 minutes.
Wow.
So I would rather, let me give you an example. Going to study my books was punishment. I'd rather you beat me.
No, my house, if they see you studying, you're free for that day. You're not doing anything. My parents, if they just see you with a book, they won't even call you to the kitchen. Just be there. So I was using my book as an excuse not to cook, not to sweep, not to do anything at home.
No, I would rather sweep.
What?
I would rather sweep. It used to stress me because I didn't understand the point. I didn't understand the point. I found it stressful.
So what were you doing though? You come back from school, sleep or do
No, my
something?
parents would make me read. My parents would make me read from the time I came back to school till I went to bed. About 5 hours. No break, no play, nothing. So it was just read, read, read. And I wasn't reading and it wasn't entering because I was just not. You know, there's something a friend of mine says. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. If you convince me against my will, my opinion is what it always was. I'm just saying yes so that you let me rest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So studying was something I never really enjoyed. Now I enjoy studying because you cannot carry the responsibility of a whole church on your shoulder and then you don't know book. I had a 2 hour grilling interview today. It's one of the reasons why I'm knocked out. I had 2 hours Forex with Bookie where we're talking about Forex. And then I had a 2 hour drilling on my purpose, how I started. This gospel singer, Bouquy. I don't know if you know her, Bookie.
No.
She was the one that interviewed me. By the time I was done, I was drained. So
So sorry about that.
that interview required me back to back scriptures, back to back history, back to back Latin and Greek, and I had to have the information in my head at the tip of my fingers. I talked about, she asked me about this year Gorogedu. How did it, I took her technically to why I knew this year was going to be a rugged year. I showed her the progression online with everybody watching of how Nigeria went from 65 million people in extreme poverty to the current number 102 million in extreme poverty.
Wow.
So I had to have information on them. So you cannot do my work now and not know book. They will drag you. Even say you know book, they will still drag you. But at least they are dragging you intellect for intellect. But when you don't know anything, you can't. But growing up, I was bottom of the class consistently. As
Did
in,
he beat you?
if beat,
Your
they
parents?
nearly
They went to
killed
beat
me.
you?
They nearly killed me. I don't know how I even survived. You know? And they couldn't get it. At a point, they thought I was retarded. So they took me to have my IQ checked. And that's another journey I don't even want to talk about because the professors could not believe how intelligent I was. Then they started taking me to advanced. Long story. I don't want to talk about it right now. But then they now started beating me because they now said, okay, you actually have the ability, but you're not applying yourself. And I was suffering from attention deficit disorder. Now you can be highly intellectual or highly intelligent and not be able to concentrate. So intelligence is different from being able to concentrate and being able to apply your intelligence. The most I've ever read in my life was for my WAEC. I used to read 30 minutes a day. I couldn't do more than that. Anything more than 30 minutes, nothing will enter. So I just put myself to studying, and I used to go to extramural lessons. So whatever I learned in the lesson, and the lesson had to be one-on-one. If you put me in a class, nothing is entering.
Wow.
The lessons had to be one, as in the teacher had to be talking to me, only me. Once we turn to class like this, Namigo, they scatter the class. So it was very difficult. But I would go to the lessons, come back home and study for 30 minutes every day. I was able to clear my WAEC one sitting then. And I had good grades. I had 2 A's and the rest C's. And strong C's, C4 and C5. One day I'll post my my WAEC online. So
Okay.
so I wasn't one of those
Your
kids.
mathematics yourself?
Sorry?
Your mathematics?
Mathematics, funny enough, was one of my strongest points. It was the easiest for me to understand. But because I never used to go to classes, I missed out on SS1 and SS2 math. So by the time I said, okay, you know what, let me just do this math in SS3, I missed out on a lot of foundation. So I struggled with it, but I knew it was easy. But I knew the reason why I was struggling with it was because I didn't go to class. But I still had a C4 in math. I did math for JAMB. Do you know what it is to do math for JAMB? Because I knew math, I knew physics, and I knew biology. I was hopeless at chemistry. I could just not understand chemistry. As in, my chemistry was so poor. I don't know. I could understand physics like this. It was natural. Math, further math, physics, biology, natural, literature. They came to me naturally. Chemistry, I managed to, I think it was practical that saved me in chemistry.
Okay.
I struggled with, I hated chemistry. So when it was now time to do JAMB, I couldn't do chemistry in JAMB. I would never have gotten to university. So I said, look, I wanted to go in for law. Maths, law's requirement was only English and English literature. Do you understand? So, no, sorry, English and any 3 other subjects in my time.
Okay.
That's how I went to join for law, physics, biology, maths, and English. That was my JAMB combination, and I made it into law. My mom now called me aside and said, this law that you want to go and read, you will not do it. Let me know. I've seen you coming up. You will not survive. Go to computer science. And guess what? I had the combination for computer science as well. Computer science was maths and any 3 other science subjects. So I had physics or maths and any 2 other science. I've forgotten, please. This was 20-something years ago. So I got admission into computer science. Now, at the same time, I got a job. So I couldn't cope with the computer science demands. That's how one day I woke up, I said, you know what? I'm going to study sociology. Everybody thought I was mad. As in, they outdo myself in my own level of madness. And they outdo you don't wake up one day. First of all, you study science, you want to go and study law. Then you go to computer science. Then one day you wake up and say you are not even doing computer science again. You want to do. It wasn't easy. My parents took me to different people who sat down with me and said I should quit my work and face the school. When they were done talking, I said, thank you for your advice. But if there's, sorry, I was working on the radio.
Okay.
So I used to tell them that instead, if there's anything I'm going to quit, it's not that radio, it's this school. So better advise me well. Better advise me well. So if you tell me I must quit one, just know that it's the school. So don't tell me to quit any. So eventually when I got to sociology, then sociology was easy for me. Sociology was voluminous, but it was easy. Reading about Karl Marx, reading about Sigmund Freud, reading about all these people, about theories on society and all that. It was, I was now able to apply myself a bit more. I was able to study. I was able to, how do I put it? You know, so I now was able to deal with it. Then, as I was growing up, I was also outgrowing the ADD. It never fully left, hasn't gone up till now. Do you understand? But I can deal with it better because I'm older. But when I was younger, I couldn't keep my nose in between a book for more than 10 minutes. That's it. If you can't tell me, well, that thing you want to tell me, if you cannot tell me in 10 minutes, it's gone. Forget it. Nothing's entering. After that, 9:58, 59, 10:00, boom, nothing's entering again. You are talking to a wall. So anybody that like long talk, you're not with me, you're not going anywhere. So it was, but you see, at the same time, I've never been one of those children that, let me give you an example. My dad, when I was graduating, I went to meet my dad. I said, my dad just called me out of the blue, said, hey, you, what class are you in again? I said, I'm graduating tomorrow. So that's how my dad followed me to school, and I graduated, and I had 2-2. Now, guess what? I had to come in from Lagos for my graduation in Ibadan because I was already working in Cool FM. The moment I finished my last paper and I dropped my pen, I moved to Lagos straight. I had not seen my results, so I moved with faith. So I was there in Lagos. They said, your paper is out, you passed. Hey, this paper too is out, you've passed. Hey, this paper, we cannot see your result. My heart will now be doing bish, 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 bish. Eventually, they found my result. I passed. I was coordinating it from Lagos. That's how they said, oh yeah, come and collect your matric gown. Graduation is tomorrow. That's how I fell in. I'm telling you. So I fall in from Lagos. So I just tell Cool FM people, say, they come now. I say, I want to go pick something for Ibadan. Now graduate, I can't graduate. You know, so when I hear now, throughout while I was in the university, I always worked more than one job. I used to have my radio job, then I used to be a lesson teacher to some Israeli kids who were paying me in dollars.
Okay.
So in a month, I would earn $150. By the time I add it to my 1,500 naira radio salary, it get body. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It go get small body, you know, because dollar then I remember was about 13 naira, 11 naira to a dollar. 111 naira, 130, 110, 130 naira. So I used to change it for about 113,000 naira. So every month I would have about 17K. So, you know, as a student with 17K those days, then I'll still MC, they'll pay me 2K. So some good months I could make 20K. You know, some bad months I'll make only 1.5. That's radio salary. I'll be following my mother up and down, begging her for money. You know, But when it's good, it was also good. I could afford to get a car, ask my mom to top up my money so I could buy myself a car in the university. It was a lot of hard work. Now, I said I was going to talk about my dad's story.
Yeah.
My dad was a very brilliant kid who had to go to he grew up in Ghana. Then he was in final year SS3 when they came to tell them that Nigerians must leave Ghana.
Okay.
So my dad had to leave Ghana with all his family in a hurry. So when he was sitting in the bus that was going to take them to Nigeria, he had his final papers in 3 months. So when he just asked that when they go to Nigeria, which school is he going to be able to do his exam? Now one of my uncle look and say, school? Who tell you say they go school? Now farm you they go. So my father just looked at it. He just got down from the bus and went to take his portmanteau from the boot. His mother, that's my grandmother, now said, where are you going? Said, no, that this exam remains 3 months. Say, make them, they go Nigeria. Say, go find a way, come meet them for Nigeria. They made them no worry. Say, he must, say, how would he go to school for 12 years and then not have anything to show for it? Say, no, he is going back. So that's how my father went back to the university, to the secondary school, and lived on the campus. I don't know how he was able to do it. For 3 months, as he was going, all the money in my grandmother's hand, she just carried it and gave it to him. Say, oh yeah, take. Be going. So he went back to school. Now, he was now living, I think, inside a classroom or something, maybe using them. I've forgotten the story. Then other boys now saw him doing that and now came to join him. So they were all reading for exam. Do you understand? They have this Ghanaian pepper, shito. So they just bring sardine, mix this, mix that, cook yam. Just join. Before you know it, they'll eat. They are back on the books. So that's how my father studied, cleared his WAEC. It now remained how I want to go back Nigeria. My father now went, they were now deporting people by ship from the coast in Ghana to Nigeria. That's how my father went there and said he wanted to be deported. He don't get how he want to take reach Nigeria, he want to take reach Nigeria. So they said, okay, you should sit down on the ground there that they are deporting. So he joined the deportation camp. And that's how they deported them and they landed somewhere in Nigeria. I wish my father could come and tell people this story. This story is sweet. He now got to Nigeria. He now remained to find his way home. By then, he had no money left. So my father now hitchhiked until he was able to get to our hometown. He got to our hometown on the market day. He just showed up in the market. Everybody said, how did you do it? It was in the market that they took him home to his mother. Hey, your son has arrived, though. He was now in the village, back on the farm, now awaiting the result. Those days, postal service was efficient. That's how they wired the result to him. Cleared all his papers. My father said he wants to go to Lagos to go and seek opportunity. He has papers. That's how he moved to Lagos. My father was going everywhere looking for opportunity. That's how he walked down from, I don't know where they were, to Victoria Island. Was going to all the embassies to see if there was scholarship. As he got to the Hungarian embassy, they said, why didn't you come 5 minutes ago? That the last form, somebody just came in before you and collected the form. My papa, where the waka come from, like Yaba. They come tell and say, no form. Then one of the security guards now said, but check Romanian embassy, that he thinks they are also doing scholarship. That's how my father carried his wahala and went to Romanian embassy. They said he should come back the next day. As he was leaving there, he now asked them, what's the name of the Romanian president? Asked them some questions there. That's how he got there. The next day, he was able to do the interview, and then he passed and got the scholarship. He came back to tell his family members. He said he didn't believe it until he sat down on the aeroplane. He didn't believe that he was going to Europe. How? So he just found his mom again as usual. His mom will sell everything she has and give him all the money in her hand. Say, this Europe you are going to, take all the money I have. Oh yeah, be going. So my dad went to Europe and came back with a medical degree. So that spirit, if I look at my own spirit compared to my dad's spirit, my spirit is a notch lower. But when I look at our children today, it's like my dad's spirit is here, my own is here, our children's own is now here. You know what, that kind of spirit that, you people are going to Nigeria, another country, say, don't worry, me, I'll stay back alone in this country. He didn't have where to live. He went to live inside classroom just so that he can get his papers. And when he got his papers, he went to the deportation camp to have himself deported because that was the only way he could go back home. So when you hear those kind of stories, you now wonder what happened to us. You are now saying that we are coming from. I had opportunities. Don't get me wrong. My father is a doctor. My mom is a professor of law. Of course, I had, but my father did not have any opportunities. He created his own opportunities. My father used to sell ice water on his head to get money to go to school. So if somebody could do that, still get a scholarship, go to Europe, come back with a medical degree, then we, I believe, are the ones messing up our own opportunities, looking for excuses up and down. How old could my dad have been when he was in SS3? How old could he have been? He has not even gotten his WAEC, and he stayed back to live inside a classroom just so that he can get it. That spirit does not exist today. Everybody sitting in their house, going to Instablog to abuse celebrity. Celebrity will get money past their papa, then go they cuss am. Instead of make their hustle, that's us. Because as you are looking at me, I have children that are older than 18. So if you are 18 years old and you are insulting me, you are insulting your father's mate. It's not downgrade. And that is what we are good at. Look at Ada. Ada at a young age will borrow money from her father and go and buy a stall. And then as the event is drawing near, she will now sell the stall at double the price. My grandfather was a diamond prospector. That is, he was a licensed diamond prospector before the whole Ghana Wahala happened and Nigerians had to come home. When my dad would come from school, after he has done his ice water business, he will still go and jig for diamond. And he was the best in his class. So only you, they read book, they clear them. Only you, they do small business. At the time, he did photography. You know, when I look at my parents, I feel very lazy. My dad is 75. He still runs 2 hospitals. He still does operations. He still works. My dad still works full-time. Maybe because of this COVID, we told him to take it easy. He still works full-time. At 75. Somebody say SS3 or class 5. Class 5. Standard 6. I'm waiting at the column of that year. So the hustle, all these our leaders, if you read about, they all had hustle stories. I don't know where they now got it wrong. But look at the average Nigerian of today. If he's not thinking of doing Yahoo, he's thinking of abusing a celeb on social media, or he's just being a nuisance. So, as a child, it is also up to you. Then the rich people, now them worse pass. That money they stole, they just believe that their children will be spending it forever. They don't know that When you don't raise a child well, no matter how big the fortune you give him, he will squander it. I'll tell you a story. There was one big plot of land. There were 2 plots of land in Victoria Island, very big plots. One old man owned both plots. So he was trying to use rent out one of the plots to develop the second plot. This man would go hungry. Each of the plots of land was worth about $1 billion. This man had plots of land worth $2 billion, and he was struggling. Get 350K here, get 2 million here, just to develop a shopping complex on one of the plots so he can rent out and generate more income. People were telling him, sell the smaller plot and use it to develop the bigger plot. He didn't want to sell any. He wanted to develop both. That's how Baba went to go and die. As they lay Baba to rest, they sell the 2 plots. I'm telling you today, the children are back to broke. Sold the guy's complex, half built. Instead of them to now sell the smaller plot and now use it to build the other one and then divide it among themselves in such a way that they can be earning money, they just sold. Oh yeah, clear from sell. And the children have squandered the money. So the fact that you left your children $2 billion does not mean that they will not go broke. Big things will be sweeting them. Gucci, Versace, Ferragamo. Those are the things that will be calling their name. Ada. Oh. You'll be walking jeje on your own, minding your business. A hotel will be calling you. Ada, you've not had lunch. Ada, you are walking past our restaurant. You've not had lunch. Oh. How much is even lunch in a hotel? 20K. I have $1 billion. Let me go and eat lunch. Before you know it, your billion don't reduce to 900 and something million. Before you know it, you don't lean. Before you know it, Kwashoko don't catch that billion. Before you know it, the billion don't enter anorexic billion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful time hanging out with you all. A real quick hustle story to ginger you. If you're a young person out there, don't put all your eggs in the education basket. Try many things. Content creation is something even the government is trying to start taxing. Why? Because they can see the potential. But you are sitting on your phone. You don't know that your phone is a gold mine. Instead, you are using it to abuse celeb. Stop it. Ada, I hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Daddy Freeze. And again, please, parents, allow your kids to try stuff. All you can do as parents is to support and counsel them. And to young people out there, please stop feeling entitled. Even if you have everything in the world, at least go out and experience life.
Absolutely. And for the girls, I want to end with a quote from Naira Marley. Girls, make your own money. It will save you from unnecessary sex. God bless you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Daddy Freeze.
God bless you all. Take care of yourselves.